This is Bronx Knights Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. If you're on YouTube, please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. So this is a created franchise on MLB The Show 20 for PlayStation 4. The name of the created franchise is the Bronx Knights. They've been wedged into the American League West Division. It's been my goal to play a full 162 game regular season. No skipped innings, no simulated games. And this is game number 161. 2 games left. So what's important about these final 2 games? Well, first of all, the Knights, as you can see, have 106 wins. It's a successful season by any measure. They have an 18-game lead. They've won the division. They're in the playoffs. Basically, it's all about the playoffs now. But now it's about home field advantage throughout the playoffs. In order to get that, I have to have the best record in the American League. The Bronx Knights and the Tampa Bay Rays in the American League East are both tied with 106 wins with 2 games left. So the team with the better record is the one that has home field advantage. So these final 2 games actually matter. So anyway, let's jump into the schedule. It's a 3-game series against the Texas Rangers at home. First game of the 3-game series was a win 6-5. This is the second to the last game of the season against Texas. View organization's games. Play game, okay. Play full game. We are the home team at Classic Yankee Stadium. I don't like the MLB network, so I'm going to change it back to the show theme. It's just the graphics for the broadcast. Patrick Joseph is 13-10. It's his final start of the season. He's going for win number 14. Everybody seems to need rest, but not everybody can take a day off. So Francisco Lindor is going to be in there at third base. Michael Rourke's going to play. Let's say Don Mattingly can take a day off. We'll put in Gio Urshela for Don Mattingly. And you know what, Max Lukulich, you'll sit down for Manuel Margot. Okay, so it's Margot, Ramos, O'Rourke, Salazar, Lo Cicero, Saps, Millo 7th, Lindor batting last. So let's do the, hold on a second. One other thing I'd like to do is to switch. Chris Ramos will be the DH today and let Matt Saps play second base. So here we go. So the other thing I forgot to mention was the fact that with 2 games left of the season, Chris Ramos, the second baseman now playing designated hitter for the Bronx Knights, has 66 home runs on the season. The record is 73. Really, there's no shot at the record. 73 by Barry Bonds in 2001, but nice to see how high he'll go. In any event, this is Major League Baseball here at Classic Yankee Stadium as the Texas Rangers visit the Bronx Knights in this final matchup of the regular season. Both teams are in the playoffs. The Knights are the division champions. The Texas Rangers hold on to a wild card spot. Here we go. On the mound for the Bronx Knights is Patrick Joseph. He's 13-10. It's his final start of the season. His ERA is 6.19. He's obviously had a lot of run support this season. And leading off for the Texas Rangers is Johnny Damon, 287, 17 homers, 69 runs batted in. First pitch of the ball game. And he lays down the bunt, and it will go foul for strike number 1.
First pitch, 7-10.
Inside checked swing. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bronx Knights 106 and 54. That's Gio Urshela playing first base for Don Mattingly today. And Manuel Margot in there for Max Lukulich. So count 1 ball and 1 strike on Johnny Damon. Fouls upstairs the high fastball. Count as 1 ball, 2 strikes. 77 degrees in this late September evening in the Bronx. Beautiful day for baseball. And just a nibbler up the first base line. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch is high. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, just a slow roller up the first base line. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Johnny Damon. Ground ball to the second baseman, Matthew Saps fields, fires, and there's 1 away. First out of the ball game. Starting lineup for the Texas Rangers, Johnny Damon's at center, Ben Zobrist at second, Ernie Banks at short. Jorge Soler in right, Eddie Murray is at first, Ivan Rodriguez is the catcher, Michael Toglia is the DH, Corey Dickerson is in left, batting ninth is Joe Rizzo playing third base. So with 1 out here in the top of the first, Ben Zobrist is hitting .267, 15 homers and 60 runs batted in. Pitch is in there, strike 1. Hard ground ball, base hit through the vacated shortstop hole. The shift was on, and it's a 1-out single for Zobrist. Here's the replay. Hit it right at where the shortstop normally plays. Unfortunately, they hadn't played the pull. Sometimes the shift backfires. Up next is Ernie Banks, hitting .315, 44 homers, 113 runs batted in. Up there with a runner at first and 1 away. And that's a deep drive. Back goes Margot looking up. That ball is gone. That's a 2-run home run for Ernie Banks. Home run number 45 on the season. And with 1 out here in the top of the first, Texas Rangers take an early 2-0 lead. And that sure will silence the crowd. I need to turn on the light in this room. Give me 1 moment. Let's watch the replay. I'll be right back.
Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 12, Jorge Soler.
Okay, so 2-0 lead for Texas. 1 out. And up steps Jorge Soler, hitting .264 on the season. That's a line drive down the first base line. Curling, slicing foul. Strike 1. That's a deep drive to center. Margot back to the track. On the warning track, makes the catch for the second out, gave it a ride. Made a bid for back-to-back homers, but it died on the warning track. There's 2 away.
The first baseman, number 33.
So next up is the switch-hitting first baseman Eddie Murray, .323, 31 homers, 119 runs batted in to lead the Rangers in that statistical category. Pitched by Joseph. Breaking ball inside corner, strike 1. Eddie Murray in this fictional universe has 655 home runs. In real life, he did have 500-plus homers, 3,000-plus hits for the Baltimore Orioles. And that's a deep drive. Margot is on his horse. Back to the track. He will not get there. Gets the ball back in, and it's a 2-out double for Eddie Murray. And they're hitting the ball hard here in the first inning against Patrick Joseph. This is a replay. Oof. So next up is Ivan Pudge Rodriguez, .290, 24 homers, 93 runs batted in. Runner at scoring position at second base and 2 away. Ground ball to Matthew Saps, routine play over there at first to retire the side, but not before a 2-run home run by Ernie Banks. After half an inning, it's the Rangers 2, the Knights coming to bat. So on the mound for the Texas Rangers is Greg Maddux. He's 19-7. He's going for win number 20 in his final start of the season. ERA is 3.40. He already has a 2-0 advantage even before he steps to the rubber. Leading off for the Bronx Knights is Manuel Margot, hitting .305 on the season. He is the backup to Max Lukelich in center field. Pitch is high and tight, ball 1. So the Texas Rangers obviously finished in second place in the American League West, but they hold possession of one of the 2 wild cards in the American League, so they're going to the playoffs. That's a hard ground ball, base hit through the left side. And the leadoff man is on for the Knights. Margot is at first. Nice play. Nice swing of the bat. Here's the replay. No chance for Joe Rizzo at third. So, up next is the man they've come to see, Chris Ramos. 364, 66 home runs on the season, 169 RBIs, leads the American League in all 3 offensive categories, the odds-on favorite to win the American League's Most Valuable Player Award. Takes low in the dirt, bounces away. Margot races to second. He'll get in there. So, on the wild pitch, the runner moves into scoring position for Ramos here in the bottom of the first. Chris Ramos has 66 homers with 2 games left, today and tomorrow. How many home runs will he hit? Fouls off the circle change. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. The record all-time home runs in a single season is by Barry Bonds in 2001. 73 homers. So, and it's a deep drive. Back goes Damon to the track, looking up. Dies on the warning track. So he does not hit the ball out. Runner tags and goes to third. So there'll be a runner at third and 1 away as we go through the starting lineup for the Bronx Knights. Margot is in center field. Chris Ramos is the DH. Mike O'Rourke is in left. Jacob Salazar is the shortstop. Benny Cicero in right. Matt Saps is playing third. Check that second. Anthony Millo is the catcher. Gio Urshela is at first. And Francisco Lindor is batting 9th and playing third base. So runner is at third base in less than 2 outs for Michael O'Rourke, who's hitting .342 on the season. 37 homers, 116 runs batted in. Does not need a hit to get that runner home. Cut this lead in half. First pitch is outside, ball 1. And now it's 2 balls and no strikes. Three balls, no strikes. So, will he have the green light? No, he will not. I do not swing on 3-0 pitch. And he misses on 4 straight balls, so he walks O'Rourke. There'll be runners at first and third now with 1 away. And up steps the switch-hitting shortstop, Jacob Salazar, hitting .323, 16 homers, 97 runs batted in. Swing and a miss at the inside fastball, strike 1. Out in front of the circle change, he's down quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Runners lead off first and third with 1 away. Late on the 2-seam fastball, stays alive, count is 0-2. And again, late on the fastball, we'll do it again. He gets him with the high fastball. Salazar does not agree with the call, but doesn't matter. There's 2 away. So up steps Benny Cicero, hitting an even .300. 34 homers, 128 runs batted in. He's going to need a hit to get those runners in. There's 2 outs. Out in front of the changeup, strike 1. Nasty pitch. Low, ball 1, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Freddie Ferguson is the man calling balls and strikes behind home plate. I have no idea if he's a real person. I just hope that he calls it correctly. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, out in front of the circle change. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he's 1 strike from getting out of this jam. Outside, 2-2. Pitcher like Greg Maddux, you have to get it when he's cold. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. One more ball and he'll load the bases for Matthew Saps, second baseman. Here comes the pitch from Maddux. Quick throw to first. O'Rourke is back. Just gets a piece of the full count pitch. Runner at first with a full count is in motion with 2 outs. Again throws over to first base to keep O'Rourke close. Doesn't want him to get too big a lead. Margot at third, O'Rourke at first. 3-2 pitch, 2 outs. Again fouls it upstairs behind home plate, and we will do it again. Ball 4, and he walks low Cicero to load the bases here with 2 outs. Up steps Matthew Saps. Maddux does not like the call. He thought he struck him out. So Matt Saps, hitting .312, 33 homers, 109 RBIs. He has the bases loaded and 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Outside with the changeup. Ball 1, Margot at third, O'Rourke at second, Lo Cicero at first. Matthew Saps playing second base today at the plate. Just gets a piece of the changeup on the outside corner. The count will even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Nowhere to put him. He has to throw strikes. Otherwise, he'll walk in a run. The slow roller to the third base. Rizzo throws across in time, and they leave the bases loaded. So, at the end of 1 inning of play, it's Texas 2, Bronx nothing. So leading off the top of the second is Michael Toglia, hitting .315, 14 homers, 54 runs batted in. It's 2-0 lead for Texas. In there, strike 1, 95 on the radar gun from Patrick Joseph. Slider inside corner, strike 2. And he pulls the changeup out in front of it. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes on the DH. That's a line drive. Racing in is... Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. What a shoestring catch by Lo Cicero. Defense from left to right in the outfield. O'Rourke, Margot, and that amazing catch in right field by Benny Lo Cicero. And in the infield is Lindor, Salazar, Saps, Urshela, with Anthony Millo behind the plate. Bronx Knights are in second in the American League in fielding percentage. They have a good defense. So with 1 out, up steps Corey Dickerson, .253, 7 homers, 29 runs batted in. In there, strike 1. Swings and fouls it off. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Dickerson. And it is a 1-hopper to the second baseman. Saps throws to first, and there's 2 away here in the top of the second.
Batting 9, the third baseman, number 6.
So the number 9 hitter for the Rangers is Joe Rizzo, third baseman, hitting .224, 10 homers, and 40 runs batted in. At the knees, strike 1. Joe Rizzo yesterday struck out 3 times and was 0 for 4. I'm sure he'd like to have a better offensive game today. And quickly he's down but 2 strikes. So Joseph looks a little bit better than he did in the previous inning, that's for certain. Swing and a miss, and he strikes him out swinging. So 1-2-3 inning for Joseph. And after 1.5 innings of play, Texas still leads 2-0. Now we go to the bottom of the second inning. Up steps Anthony Millo, the catcher, who struggled in the first half of the season, but has picked it up of late. He's hitting .258, 16 homers, 68 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter against the righty pitcher Greg Maddux. Swings at the first pitch and skies it to right center field. Damon makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 away. So up next is Gio Urshela. Wait, before we do that, let's look at the Rangers defense. In the outfield from left to right is Dickerson, Damon, and Soler. And in the infield, Joe Rizzo, Ernie Banks, Ben Zobrist, Eddie Murray with Gold Glove catcher Ivan Pudge Rodriguez behind home plate. So next up is Gio Urshela, playing today in place of Don Mattingly at first place. He's hitting .288. And it's a snubber, but it will be a foul ball for strike 1. So Urshela, limited at bats, backup player. Pitches inside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. 2-0 lead for Texas. Way out in front of the circle change. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maddux is going for win number 20. And he's pitching like it matters. That ball is high and deep, curling out of play. It is a foul ball. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gave it a ride, but foul. That's a line drive in the hole between first and second. So it's a 1-out single for the Knights. Urshela is at first base. Thought Eddie Murray might get a glove on it, but just got past him first. So the number 9 hitter is Francisco Lindor, switch hitter, hitting .303. He's playing today in place of Matt Termini, takes strike 1. Fastball down the middle. Lindor in limited play does have 7 homers on the season. He's hitting .303. That's hard ground ball 2. Banks over to second for 1, back to first. A double play. I think he pulled him off the bag and called him out anyway. But in any event, the end of 2, it's Texas 2, Bronx nothing. We go to the top of the third. Lineup turns over for the Texas Rangers. Johnny Damon is 0 for 1. He's 4 for 6 in the series, however. Strike 1 from Patrick Joseph. Damon has 192 hits on the season. He would need to breaking ball at the knees, outside corner, strike 2. Count as no balls, 2 strikes. Damon would have to go off in order to get the necessary 8 hits in the final 2 ball games. Fouls it upstairs behind home plate. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Still good season. Ground ball to Saps at second. Throws to first in time. 1 away. So the American League West standings, as you can see, the Bronx Knights are 106 and 54. They've won the division, and Texas Rangers are the 3rd place team, 85 and 75, 21 games back. So Ben Zobrist singled in the first inning, and that's again another base hit through the vacated hole. Big turn at first. It's a 1-out single for Zobrist. They keep playing him to pull. He keeps hitting it where the shortstop normally plays. Sometimes the statistics just fail. So, up steps Ernie Banks. He hit a 2-run homer in the first inning. And he makes a bid for another one. He hits a high, deep drive to left center field. Back is gone. It's back-to-back for him. 2-run home runs. His 2nd homer of the game. His 2nd 2-run homer. Number 46 on the season. And it's almost as if we're watching the replay of the first inning. as the Texas Rangers now take a 4-0 lead. My goodness. Oh. So, with one out in the top of the third, 4-0 lead for Texas. Jorge Soler steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. That's a deep drive. Back goes Margot at the track, the wall, looking up. He reaches up at the very top of the fence and makes the catch for out number 2. So Soler hit it as far as you can hit it and not have a home run. So, with 2 outs, Eddie Murray doubled in the first. He's up there for his second plate appearance. Fouls off the fastball, strike 1. Breaking ball, outside corner, strike 2. Switch hitting first baseman. Power. Good defender. Deep in the hole at third. Strong throw by Francisco Lindor. The side is retired. Ernie Banks, 2 two-run home runs in this ball game. He is solely responsible for the Rangers having a 4-0 lead here after 2.5. So we go to the bottom of the third. The lineup turns over for the Knights. Manuel Margot singled in the first. Ground ball through the hole on the left side. Fouls it off, upstairs behind home plate. Count is no balls and 1 strike. And he's a little out in front of the changeup. Count is no balls and 2 strikes. So Greg Maddux now has a 4-run lead. And again, he's out in front of the slider. Count is 0-2 on Margot. And he slices it in the air to Soler in right. 1 away.
Now batting.
Again, they show us the American League West standings. Texas is 10 games over 500 and in third place. Like I mentioned before, they are in possession of one of the 2 American League wildcard spots. And up steps Chris Ramos with his 66 home runs. Most of the fans are here just to see if he'll do it again. Maddux pitches outside, ball 1. Again, the record is 73 homers in the single season. That's a hard line drive into the seats. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. 73 homers by Barry Bonds in 2001. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. In case you're wondering, options, gameplay. The difficulty setting for this franchise is on All-Star, and the pitching is on All-Star. So just for accountability's sake, show that at once a game. So the count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Chris Ramos. Down and in. Hitters count 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Here in the bottom of the third. Here comes the pitch from Maddux. And he misses ball 4. He walks him. So he walks Chris Ramos. Hear a smattering of boos from the hometown crowd who wanted to see him swing the bat. So runner at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. And up steps Michael O'Rourke, who walked in the first. No official at bat. He's hitting .342. Outside, ball 1. So Michael scored 123 runs this season. And he swings and fouls off the changeup. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on O'Rourke. Inside, backs him off the plate, 2 balls and 1 strike. Ramos leads off first, 1 away. And he's a little out in front of the fastball. Yanks it down the right field line. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball low, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Will he be in motion with only 1 away? Don't think so. Ramos doesn't have a lot of speed. Swings and misses over the top of the pitch. That's probably ball 4. He strikes out. Wins leaders in the American League. Eli Ramos and Joey Pollard, tag team 20-game winners, 22 and 20. Greg Maddux is trying to become the third 20-game winner in the American League this season. Right now he's got a 4-0 lead. So with 2 outs and runner at first, up steps Jacob Salazar. And he hits a deep drive to right. Back goes Soler to the track, the wall. It is Gonzo. That's a 2-run home run for Jacob Salazar, number 17 on the season, and he has cut the lead in half. The Texas Rangers now lead 4-2. Oh yeah, that's home run number 17, RBIs number 97 and 98 on the season for Salazar. Let's watch the replay. 2 out, 2-run home run to cut the lead in half. Short porch in right field in Classic Yankee Stadium. So next up is the right fielder Benny Locicero, who walked in the first inning. Checks his swing. The changeup is low, ball 1. Ball 2 outside. Pitch is low. 3 balls, no strikes on Locicero. Will he have the green light? No, he will not. I don't swing on 3-0. My hands are off the controller. Finds the outside corner for 3 balls and 1 strike. Now, all bets are off. Here with 2 outs comes the pitch. And it is a lazy fly ball to right center field. Damon is there to retire the side. So, a 2-run home run by Jacob Salazar, his 17th of the season, cuts the lead in half. The end of 3 innings of baseball here at Classic Yankee Stadium. It's the Rangers 4, the Knights 2. So we go to the top of the 4th. Up steps Pudge Rodriguez. He is 0 for 1. He grounded out in the first inning. Joseph is still on the mound. He's late on the fastball, fouls it off, strike 1. Ivan Rodriguez had a 3-run home run yesterday in the 6-5 loss. Swing and a miss out in front of the curveball, count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, he chases the slider out of the zone. Strikes out for out number 1. It's Joseph's 2nd strikeout of the ball game.
Now batter, designated hitter, Michael Toglia.
Here's the replay. Again, it wasn't a strike, just chased it. So next up is Michael Toglia. Lined out in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 5 in this 3-game series so far. And that ball is gone. Locicero in right field just watches it go off the facing of the 2nd deck. It's Toglia's 15th homer of the season, a solo shot. And the Texas Rangers take a 5-2 lead here in the top of the 4th. Here's the replay. Just pulls it. That ball gone the minute he swung the bat. So we're going to go to the bullpen. We're going to warm up some guys. Let's go, let's warm up Jesse Biddle and Zach Eflin. And let's go to the manager. We'll do a mound visit. Up there is Corey Dickerson. And we'll let him pitch a couple of more batters and just see what happens. In there, strike 1 to Corey Dickerson, who's 0 for 1. Slider inside corner, strike 2. Corey is 3 for his last 9. Quickly down 0-2. And he yanks it, foul ball. So we'll do it again. Out in front of the changeup, strike 3. There's 2 outs. So he struck out 2 batters in this inning, but in between endured that solo shot. Next up is the number 9 hitter, Joe Rizzo, who's 0 for 1. At the knees with the fastball. Well, Patrick Joseph's going to have to go to the offseason and work on another pitch or something, because in there, strike 2 count as no balls and 2 strikes, because he just hasn't really had effectiveness. He's won 13 games, but usually because the Bronx Knights score a lot of runs. He needs to be more effective on the mound. Swinging and misses. He strikes out the side, but unfortunately, Michael Toglia hits a solo shot. And after 3.5 innings of play, the Rangers lead by 3. They have a 5-2 advantage. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Up steps the number 7 hitter today, Anthony Millo, grounded out in the 1st inning. Leading off here, in the bottom of the 4th. Swings out in front of the breaking ball, strike 1. Low, count as 1 ball and 1 strike on Millo. That is a line drive shot, but right at the left fielder. Barely has to move. There's 1 away.
Now batting, number 43.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. A little confused. Pitch is high, ball 1. Hold on a second. Let me just see something. Stats. Box score. Bronx Knights. So that last hitter was Matt Saps. I apologize. So Matt Saps just hit a line drive out. This is Anthony Millo. My mistake. Millo is 0 for 1 as well. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Mental hiccup. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. And he skies it to short right center field. Damon catches it for out number 2. 2 quick outs here in the 4th for Maddox. So next up is Gio Urshela, who singled in the 2nd inning, up for his 2nd plate appearance. Pitch is high, ball 1. That's a hard ground ball. Scooped up by, throws in the dirt. Zobrist throws in the dirt, but Eddie Murray scoops it nicely. And the side is retired. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Greg Maddux. At the end of 4 innings of play, it's Texas 5, Bronx 2. So, leadoff man Johnny Damon is up again. He's 0 for 2 today. Joseph's still out there here pitching in the top of the 5th, but he's on a very short leash. Throws strike 1, 95 on the radar gun. Damon's 5 for his last 14. That's a 357 clip. Pitch is low, checks his swing. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike. And fly ball to left. There, near the line, is O'Rourke, who makes the catch for out number 1. Next up is Ben Zobrist. He has 2 singles and 2 runs scored today. In there, strike 1. Zobrist has 2,310 hits in this fictional universe. Ground ball to the only man on the left side of the infield, Matt Termini. Oh, check that. Francisco Lindor playing, I guess, shortstop. Makes the throw to first, and there's 2 away. So Ernie Banks has 2 homers and 4 RBIs today. Wonder if he's ever hit 3 homers in a game. I hope not. And that ball is high. It is far. It is home run number 3 for Ernie Banks. 3 home runs in 1 game. 45, 46, and now number 47 on the season. This is a very select club of individuals that have hit 3 home runs in 1 game. So score is now 6-2 Texas. The fans are quiet. They expected Chris Ramos to put on this kind of a power display, but instead it's Ernie Banks. So Jorge Soler is stepping up to the plate. We go to the bullpen, and I would say that Zach Eflin comes in to pitch. Pitching change, manager is Don Mattingly. Comes in to get the ball from Patrick Joseph. He's trailing 6-2 here in the top of the 5th inning. He cannot win, so he leaves this, the final start of the season. He's 13-10. He cannot win. He can only lose. In relief is Zach Eflin, making his 29th start of the season. His record is 2-0 with a 3.86 earned run average. So up steps Jorge Soler for the Texas Rangers. He's 0-2 today. Pitch is high and outside, ball 1. Swing and a miss at the fastball, 95 on the radar gun. The count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on Soler. Swing and a miss again. 2-seam fastball, count is 1-2. Thank you for visiting the stream. This is Bronx Knights Baseball, a created franchise on MLB The Show 20 for the PlayStation 4. That pitch is fouled off down the first base line. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, even though you left, thank you for coming regardless. Ground ball deep in the hole. At short, long throw for Salazar. In time, brilliant play by the shortstop. But to retire the side, but Ernie Banks hit home run number 3 of the game. A solo shot, and after 4.5 innings of play, the Rangers lead 6-2. So these 3 guys are not calling the game. I'm calling the game. I'm RC Robbin. I'm calling the game. I'm playing the game. Not doing such a great job at the moment. Here in the bottom of the 5th, up steps Francisco Lindor, playing third base today against Greg Maddux, going for win number 20. And he hits a line drive the other way. It's a base hit to lead off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So they need base runners. They're down by 4. So that's how you do it. So next up is the leadoff man, Manuel Margot, the center fielder. He's 1-for-2 with a single. Swings at the first pitch, fouls back, strike 1. Lindor leads off first. And he's out in front of the circle change. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Margot. Outside, count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss at the slider, and there's 1 away. Struck him out. That's Maddox's 3rd strikeout of the game. And up steps Chris Ramos. He walked. He's officially 0-for-1. He has 66 home runs. Outside, ball 1. Next up on the, I think the leaderboard list, the career list. Well, it doesn't really matter because that's a shallow fly ball to center. Damon makes the catch for out number 2. I was going to say that next up on the career list is 68 home runs by Sammy Sosa for 4th place. He's currently in 5th place. So with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, up steps Michael O'Rourke, who's 0-for-1. Lindor leads off first, and he yanks the fastball foul. Count is no balls and 1 strike. Michael has 43 doubles on the season. That leads the team. And this one is a shallow fly ball. Zobrist makes the catch to retire the side. So it's an official ball game here in the classic Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Texas leads 6-2. So we go to the top of the 6th inning. Up steps Eddie Murray, the switch hitter. He's 1-for-2 against Zach Eflin in his 2nd inning of work. Pitches low and inside, ball 1. Eddie Murray leads the Rangers with 119 runs batted in. Line drive over the head of Francisco Lindor into left. It's a leadoff single for Eddie Murray here in the top of the 6th.
Up next for the Rangers,
Hits leaders on the team. Leading Texas is Ernie Banks with 207. As you can see, Eddie Murray is in third place on the Texas Rangers. Now probably with 189 or 190. So next up is Pudge Rodriguez. He's 0 for 2. Line drive, and he tags him, so it's a double play by Urshela. Nice. Just line drive, caught the ball for the first out. Second out, tagged him before Eddie Murray could get back to the bag. So 2 quick outs, and the bases are empty for Michael Toglia, who's 1 for 2 with a solo shot in the 4th inning. Line drives like that, sometimes you just get lucky. Slow roller to Saps, easy play to retire the side. So it's 1-2-3 in a manner of speaking, because there's no runs, 1 hit, nobody left on. After 5.5 innings of play, it's Texas 6, Bronx Knights 2. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Up steps Jacob Salazar, who in the 3rd inning put the Knights on the board. At that time, he made it 4-2 with this, his 17th homer of the season, a 2-run shot. Steps up, he's 1 for 2, if I'm not mistaken, yes. Pitches inside from Greg. He has 200 hits on the season. That's a milestone. Now the next milestone is 100 RBIs, but not on this at-bat, as he flies out to center field, and there's 1 away. So he has 98 runs batted in, is looking for that century mark, but not today, not yet at least. So with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th, Benny Locicero is 0 for 1. He walked in the 1st inning. Bases are empty. 6-2 lead for Texas. Out in front of the fastball, strike 1. Fouls off the 2-seam fastball. The count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. So Greg was laboring in the 1st and 3rd innings as far as pitch out count was concerned, but since then he's settled down and now has regained control. Did he check it? Yes, he did, according to the 3rd base umpire. Did not swing. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another ask, nope. Count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff pitch. They need base runners. And he misses, so it's a 1-out walk for Locicero. Maddox has thrown a lot of pitches. That's pitch number 80, 5 1/3 innings pitched. So next up is Matt Saps, the second baseman today. He's 0 for 2. Locicero leads off first. Quick throw to first to keep him close. So this is the second to last game in the regular season. It's game number... Oh, he's taking off. Pitch is in there for strike 1. Throw down to second is not in time. It's a stolen base for Benny Locicero, and he's now in scoring position with 1 out. So at least the double play is not in order. So count is no balls and 1 strike on Saps. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. And he hits a high fly ball to left in front of the warning track. He makes the catch for out number 2. Just hit it too high. So 2 outs, runner at second, 4-run lead for Texas. And up steps Anthony Millo, who's 0 for 2 today. What the Knights need to do is to get into that Texas bullpen, because Maddox is just a tough pitcher to handle. If they could just get him out of this ball game, inside corner at the knees, strike 1, they'll have a much better chance if they can get to that bullpen. That's a line drive pass the 3rd baseman. Rounds 3rd as Salazar heads home. Check that, Locicero and heads home. It's an RBI single for Anthony Millo, and the score is now 6-3 Texas. Nice 2-out hit for Millo. So next up is Gio Urshela, who's 1 for 2 with a single. Runner at first, 2 away. And he pulls the fastball foul, strike 1. And that's a ground ball Easy play for Zobrist, throws to first in time, and the side is retired. But not before an RBI single by Anthony Millo cuts into the lead. At the end of 6 innings of baseball, Texas leads 6-3. So we go to the top of the 7th. Up steps Corey Dickerson, who's 0 for 2. Is Corey a left-handed hitter? Yes, he is. Manager, bullpen. 3 lefties in a row. We're going to Jesse Biddle. What we'll do is we will warm up Jonathan Holder in case he needs to come in. But Jesse Biddle, we're going to put in the game. So Jesse's making his 61st appearance out of the bullpen. His record is 2-3. He does have 6 saves on the season. His ERA is 2.15. He has been very good this season. So first pitch of the inning, in there, strike 1. He's expected to deal with the lefties in any particular lineup. Curveball low, ball 1. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. And it's a pop-up. Racing out to short left field is Salazar, who makes the catch for the first out.
The third baseman, number 6.
Next up is Joe Rizzo, who struck out twice. He's 0 for 2. Pops it up behind home plate. Out of his crouch is Millo. He makes the catch for the second out. 2 quick outs for Jesse. So, with 2 away, Johnny Damon steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Leadoff man. Tries to bunt his way on, but it is a foul ball. Strike 1. Pops it up. Racing over is Lindor in foul territory. Makes the catch. It's a quick 1-2-3 inning. So get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here at Classic Yankee Stadium. The Texas Rangers lead by 3. It's a 6-3 ball game. Take me out to the ball game. All right, so we go to the bottom of the 7th. Francisco Lindor leads off. He's a switch hitter. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Maddox is still out there, nursing this 3-run lead. And it's a ground ball back through the box, up the middle, a leadoff single for Lindor. And the Knights lead off the bottom of the 7th with a single. Here's the replay. So up next is Manuel Margot, and the manager of the Texas Rangers has seen enough. Takes the ball out of his ace's hands. So he leaves with responsibility for that runner at first, but he can win, he cannot lose. He's hoping for win number 20 in this final game of the season if the bullpen can close the door. Brad Keller, 41st game out of the bullpen. His record is 3-4 with a 6.47 earned run average. And he will face Manuel Margot, righty pitcher, against the righty hitter who's 1 for 3 with a single. Lindor leads off first, nobody out. Swing and a miss at the fastball, strike 1. And he pulls it between short and third. Back-to-back singles for the Knights here in the bottom of the 7th. There's 2 runners on and nobody out. So they're threatening. Because why? Because now with 2 runners on, the tying run will come to the plate. And that tying run is Chris Ramos. Chris is 0 for 2 with a walk today. He can tie this game with home run number 67 on the season, and that's just what this fan base would love to see. Pitches at the knees, outside corner, strike 1. He has 66 home runs on the season. He's hitting .382 with runners in scoring position this season. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty, Brad Keller. Pitches outside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Finds the outside corner with the 2-seam fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now he's got to be in protect mode. And he pops it upstairs behind home plate. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners lead off first and third. The tying run is at the plate here in the bottom of the 7th. And that ball is popped up. Short right field. Out goes Zobrist. Makes the catch for the first out. So Ramos is retired. So next up, with one away, is Michael O'Rourke. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. He has 37 homers and 116 RBI, so he is no slouch. And he pulls the two-seam fastball foul for strike number 1. Grounds it, throws to second for 1, back to first. That's a 3-6-3 double play to retire the side. So they get the first 2 runners on with nobody out and fail to score at the end of 7. It's 6-3. Texas leads. Oh, disappointing. So we go to the top of the 8th. Up steps Ben Zobrist, switch hitter against Jesse Biddle in his second inning work. In there, strike 1, 96 on the radar gun. Ben Zobrist is 2 for 3 in the ball game. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. Strike 3 called, and there's 1 away here in the 8th. Caught him looking. Nasty pitch by Jesse Biddle. It's right there, right down the middle. So, Ernie Banks has 3 home runs in this ball game. He's going for home run number 4. Only a select few have had 4 homers in one game. Swings and a miss. Strike 1. Gets him up to 47 homers and 118 runs batted in on the season. Fouls off the curveball. He's down, no balls and 2 strikes. They already have a 3-run lead here in the top of the 8th. Fouls it off behind home plate. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes on Ernie Banks. Ernie Banks is a Hall of Fame shortstop who played on the Chicago Cubs, I believe in the 60s and 70s. I'm not 100% sure. Strike 3 called on the curveball down in the zone. Banks does not like the call, complains about it, but it doesn't really matter what he says. It's 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. I've never seen an argument by a player that overturned a call in baseball. So Jorge Soler, 0 for 3. 2 outs. Fouls it behind home plate. Strike 1. Fastball outside. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 48,752 in attendance here at Classic Yankee Stadium. That is not a sellout. Sellout will be in the low 50s. And he fouls it back behind home plate again. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he tries to sneak a fastball past him on the outside corner. Fouls it off again. 1-2. Misses with the curveball inside. Count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 8th. 6-3 lead for the Texas Rangers. Here comes the pitch from Biddle. And that's a deep drive to center. Back goes Margot to the track looking up. That's gone. It's a 2-run solo. It is a 2-out solo home run for Jorge Soler, number 28 on the season. And the Texas Rangers have a 7-3 lead. Here's the replay. Just crushed it to center field. Popular spot out there. Just a bad pitch. So next up is Eddie Murray, 2 for 3 with a single and a double. That's a deep drive, but it will slice out of play for strike number 1. Breaking ball low. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Eddie Murray. And he pulls the slider foul. Strike 2. Ground ball through the right side. It's a 2-out single for Murray. And I think the manager is walking up to the top step. I think he's going to go get Biddle. Maybe he's out of gas. So next up is Pudge Rodriguez. The manager goes to the bullpen and calls on Jonathan Holder. Jonathan Holder comes out of the bullpen. He is 0-3 with a 6.16 earned run average. Has not been a good season for him, but ground ball through the right side. It's another single. Here with 2 outs in the 8th, runners will be at first and second now. And the hits continue. 7-game hitting streak for Pudge. Next up is Michael Toglia. Switch hitter, turns around, batting from the left side against the righty Holder. It's 1-for-3 with a solo homer in the 4th. Strike 1 inside corner. Misses with the cut fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss out in front. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Side is retired. But they get another run on the solo shot by Jorge Soler. We will go to the bottom of the 8th. It's a 4-run lead for the Rangers. Texas leads 7-3. Home field advantage is on the line, and this may be it. So, bottom of the 8th, Jacob Salazar, 1-for-3 with a 2-run homer, steps up, had his 200th hit today. Yanks it foul up the first base line, strike 1. So 200 hits, 17 homers, 300 plus batting average. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a successful season for any shortstop. Switch hitter. Low, 2 balls and 1 strike. He has 98 runs batted in. Sure, he'd love to get that 100 in this next couple of games. Two hopper to the second baseman. Zobers throws to first, and there's 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Next up is Benny Cicero. Officially, he's 0-for-1, but he's walked twice. He scored a run. He stole a base. He's 2-for-5 in this series. He's up there with 1 out. Pitches low, ball 1. High and tight, ball 2. Count as 2 balls and no strikes. Fouls off the high slider. Count as 2 balls, 1 strike. Outside, hitters count 3 balls, 1 strike. Matt Saps is on deck. It's a 4-run lead. They need base runners. Pulls it foul. Count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff pitch. Pulls it, but right at the second baseman. Throws to first, and there are 2 away. So with 2 outs, up steps Matt Saps. He's 0-for-3. Batting average is at .310. Has 33 homers, 109 RBIs. Checks his swing, pitches outside, ball 1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And that ball is hit high, but not overly deep, in left center field. The left fielder makes the catch to retire the side. So we'll go to the 9th. Top of the 9th, coming. Texas Rangers lead by 4, 7-3. So up steps Corey Dickerson, 0-for-3. Holder delivers. In there, strike 1. I like to keep it at 4 runs, so I'm going to go to the manager's office and the bullpen and warm somebody up just in case the wheels. We'll put Caleb Smith warming up and Telly Argios warming up just in case. I want Holder to pitch this inning, but you never know. Swing and a miss at the inside. Breaking ball. Count is no balls and 2 strikes on Dickerson. Fouls off the fastball. Count stays no balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball to shortstop. Salazar throws across in time, on away.
The person, number 6, Joe.
So Joe Rizzo, the third baseman, is 0 for 3. He's up there with 1 out. Holder sets and delivers. That's a hard ground ball past the diving Salazar at shortstop and into left field. It is a 1-out single for Rizzo. He's 1 for 4 now. It's a hard line drive the other way. A little late on the fastball, but found the hole. Next up is the leadoff man, Johnny Damon, at bat number 5. He's 0 for 4 today. At the knees, strike 1. In the series, though, he's 4 for 9 with a homer. Line drive caught by Lindor. Throws to first, just in case. So it's the second out of the inning on the line drive catch by the third baseman. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth is Ben Zobrist, 2 for 4, 2 singles. Steps up. In there, strike 1. Zobrist versus Holders, 2 for 5 with a home run in his career. So waits on the changeup, but still fouls it off. Count is no balls and 2 strikes. So runner at first, 2 outs in the top of the ninth. 4-run lead. Strike 3 called, side retired. So last licks for the Bronx Knights. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. The Texas Rangers lead 7 to 3. Let's do this. I'm coming back. Let's do this. So leading off is Anthony Millo. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Bullpen is active. Brad Keller's still out there.
Number 43.
Pitch is low, ball 1. Daniel Norris, the left-hander. Seth Lugo, the right-hander, loosening up in the Rangers bullpen. Finds the low strike. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on Millo. That's a ground ball. No, line drive right at Ernie Banks for out number 1 here in the bottom of the ninth. Hit it right on the nose, but right at the shortstop. So next up is Gio Urshela's 1 for 3 with a single, but we're going to pinch hit for him. Substitution. Gio will pinch hit Don Mattingly. Why not? So in pinch hitting is Don Mattingly. He's 25 homers and 110 RBIs on the season. Hitting .339. Skies it to left field on the first pitch. In foul territory, reaches into the stands, makes the catch for the second out. And the Bronx Knights are down to their final out of the ball game. Up next is Francisco Lindor, 2 for 3 with 2 singles. He represents the final out of the game. Yanks it down the first base line, but it's a foul ball, strike 1. Swings and fouls off the low fastball. Count is no balls and 2 strikes, and the Bronx Knights are down to their final strike. Checks his swing, or did he? Yes, he did. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Lindor. Switch hitter batting from the left side. And he pops it upstairs, behind home plate, out of play. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Keller sets. And he hits a deep drive. Back goes, it is off the wall. Rounding first and heading to second is Lindor. He's going to be at second base with a 2-out double. So runner in scoring position. He almost hit a home run. So Jorge Soler in right field basically made no qualms about it. He said, you know, with a 4-run lead, I'll just catch the rebound off the wall. I'm not going to try to make a leaping catch at the wall. I'll just catch it. So next up is Manuel Margot, who I think I'm going to pinch hit for. It's 2 for 4 with 2 singles. In there, strike 1. You know what? It's already a strike. Margot, you're 2 for 4. I'm leaving you in. Why not? Pulls it foul. And again, the Bronx Knights are down to their final strike of the game. pulls it foul again. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. Runner leads off second. It's a 4-run lead for Texas. And he pulls it, and it will drop into left field for a base hit. Rounding third and headed home is Lindor. It is a RBI single. Closer play at the plate than I expected. An RBI single for Manuel Margot, his 3rd hit of the ball game. Nice relay to Joe Rizzo through a strike to the plate, but Margot's in there. It's 7-4. Texas leads. So next up is, well, before that happens, Eric Gagne, the closer, steps in to get the final out of the game. He's 1-2. He has 33 saves, but he has 6 blown saves, and he has a high ERA, 5.20. And he will face Chris Ramos with his 66 home runs. Chris is 0 for 3 today. Pitches low and inside, ball 1. 2 outs in the ninth. It is a 3-run lead. They need another base runner to make this interesting. And he yanks the curveball foul. Strike 1. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. He represents the final out of the game. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike on Ramos. To put it in perspective, Chris Ramos has 66 homers. Fouls off the fastball. Strike 2, he's down to this final strike. Forget about perspective. Let's just see what happens. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Michael O'Rourke is on deck. 1 more ball, and the tying run comes to the plate here in the bottom of the ninth. And he hits a lazy fly ball to center field. Damon is underneath it, makes the catch, side retired, ball game over. Texas Rangers win 7-4, and they split this 3-game series, 1 game apiece, with the final game of the series tomorrow, the rubber match, and also the final game of the regular season, 162 games. So Greg Maddux wins ball game number 20th in his final start of the season, and let's do this the right way. Let's go to the scorecard. So Texas Rangers, 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors. Bronx Knights, 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Greg Maddux wins his 20th ball game of the year. Patrick Joseph loses. He is 13-10. Eric Gagne gets a save, and Ernie Banks, the shortstop of the Texas Rangers, hit 3 home runs today. He is the player of the game. And this has been a broadcast of Bronx Knights baseball. I'm RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps. This has been a created franchise on MLB The Show 20 for PlayStation 4. It's my goal to play 162 games of a regular season. No skipped innings, no simulated games, and this was game number 161 of 162. So there's only 1 game left. I will shut the game off, I'll save it, and later on this evening, I'm coming back for the final game of the season, because after that final game, after that, the real season begins. It's the playoffs, and hopefully the World Series, and that's where it really counts. If you can play a season, it's all about the World Series. So thank you for joining me, even if it was towards the end. Appreciate it. The final here at Classic Yankee Stadium, Texas wins 7-4.